It's 3 o'clock in the morning. The house is quiet, but you're awake because your stomach feels heavy and uncomfortable. Not sharp pain, exactly, more like pressure, bloating, or that uneasy feeling that something is not moving the way it usually does. Maybe you tried to have a bowel movement before bed, but nothing happened. Maybe you have gone less often this week. Maybe the stool has been harder, drier, or more difficult to pass. And as you lie there, you start wondering, is this just what happens after 60? Or is my body trying to tell me something? For many older adults, constipation gets treated like a small inconvenience. People say, I just need more fiber, or I didn't drink enough water, or that's just part of getting older. Sometimes, fiber and fluids really may be part of the picture. But here's what many people miss. New constipation after 60 is not always just a low fiber problem. Constipation is not only about missing one bathroom trip, it is a pattern. It can mean going less often than usual. It can mean hard, dry, or lumpy stool. It can mean straining, pain, bloating, or feeling like you still have not fully emptied. And after 60, when that pattern changes in a noticeable way, it is worth paying attention to. That does not mean you should panic. Most constipation is not an emergency. But new constipation, constipation that lasts, or constipation that comes with other symptoms should not be brushed off as just age. This video is for education only. It is not a diagnosis, and it is not a treatment plan. If constipation is new, severe, getting worse, lasting longer than usual, or comes with blood in the stool, black stools, vomiting, fever, constant belly pain, inability to pass gas, unexplained weight loss, or a major change in bowel habits, talk with a qualified healthcare professional. And if you take prescription medicines, over-the-counter medicines, vitamins, or supplements, do not stop or change them on your own. A safer step is to ask your doctor or pharmacist whether anything you take could be contributing. Before we talk about what may help, it helps to understand what may be happening underneath. Your digestive system does not move at the same speed every day. It responds to your meals, fluids, movement, sleep, stress, routine, medications, and overall health. When stool moves slowly through the colon, more water can be absorbed from it. That can make the stool harder, drier, and more difficult to pass. So constipation is not always just not going. It can also be about stool becoming harder to move. Fiber matters because it can help support stool bulk and regularity for many people. But fiber is not the whole story. If a person suddenly adds a lot of fiber without enough fluid, or if they are sitting most of the day, or if a medicine is slowing the bowel, the result may not be what they expect. In some people, increasing fiber too quickly may lead to gas, bloating, or cramping. That is why just eat more fiber can be too simple for a problem that may have several moving parts. After 60, constipation may become more common for everyday reasons. Some people become less active because of joint pain, fatigue, balance concerns, or long stretches of sitting. Some eat smaller meals because appetite has changed. Some drink less because they worry about waking up at night to urinate. Some hold the urge to go because they are traveling, busy, uncomfortable in public bathrooms, or simply out of their normal routine. And many older adults take more medications than they used to. Some prescription medicines, over-the-counter medicines, vitamins, and supplements can sometimes contribute to constipation. That does not mean the medicine is bad. It does not mean you should stop taking it. It means the timing matters. If constipation began after a new medicine, A dose change, a new supplement, or regular use of an over-the-counter product, that is useful information. Pain medicines, some blood pressure medicines, some allergy medicines, some medicines that affect the nervous system, iron supplements, calcium supplements, and other products may be worth reviewing with a professional. The point is not to memorize a list or blame one pill. The point is to bring your full list and ask, could anything here be contributing to this constipation? There is one detail that changes how you should think about this. New constipation is different from a lifelong pattern. Some people have always had slower bowel habits. Their normal may not look like someone else's normal. But if you are over 60 and your bowel pattern noticeably changes, that is a signal. Maybe you used to go most days, and now you are going twice a week. Maybe the stool is suddenly much harder. Maybe you are straining more. Maybe you feel bloated after meals. Maybe you started needing laxatives when you never did before. That change is what matters. Not because it automatically means something serious, but because it gives you information. Low fluid intake is one common piece of the puzzle. Some older adults intentionally drink less because they do not want to wake up at night or worry about urgency during the day. That is understandable, but the body still needs enough fluid to function well. The right amount is personal, especially for people with heart, kidney, or fluid restriction concerns. So, the safe message is not drink as much as possible. The safer message is notice whether low fluid intake seems connected to worse constipation, and ask your doctor what is appropriate for you. Movement can matter too. Long days of sitting may contribute to a slower pattern for some people. This does not mean you need intense exercise. Even ordinary movement, as tolerated, may help support a healthier routine. But if you have balance problems, pain, heart concerns, or other medical conditions, ask what kind of activity is safe for you. The goal is not to force the body. The goal is to avoid letting the whole day become still. Food rhythm also matters. The bowel often responds to regular eating patterns. If appetite has dropped, or meals have become very small, irregular, or low in fiber-containing foods, bowel habits may change. Fruits, vegetables, beans, whole grains, and similar foods may help some people, but changes should be gradual and realistic. A sudden big jump in fiber may be uncomfortable, especially if your body is not used to it. Another habit that can quietly make constipation worse is ignoring the urge to go. Many people delay because they are busy, traveling, embarrassed, or uncomfortable. Over time, repeatedly holding the urge may make bowel movements more difficult for some people. A more regular bathroom routine, with enough time and privacy, can sometimes support a better pattern. Rushing rarely helps the body relax. Travel, illness, stress, poor sleep, changes in meals, and changes in schedule can all affect bowel habits. After surgery or during illness, people may move less, eat differently, drink less, or take new medicines. Constipation that appears during those times may have more than one contributor. That is why guessing is less useful than observing. The key is to notice the pattern clearly enough to describe it. If constipation is new, write down when it started. Notice how often you are having bowel movements. Pay attention to whether the stool is hard, dry, painful, or difficult to pass. Notice whether you are straining, whether you feel incomplete emptying, whether you have bloating or belly pain, and whether the problem began after a medication change, supplement change, travel, illness, reduced activity, or a change in eating and drinking. This does not need to become complicated. A simple note for 1 or 2 weeks can make a doctor visit much more useful. Instead of saying, I'm constipated, you can say, this started 3 weeks ago. I'm going about twice a week. The stool is hard, I'm straining, and I started a new supplement around the same time. That kind of detail helps your healthcare professional see the full picture. There are also better questions to ask. You might ask, could any of my medicines, vitamins, or supplements be contributing? You might ask, is it safe for me to increase fiber, and should I do it gradually? You might ask, how much fluid is appropriate for me with my health conditions? You might ask, is an over-the-counter laxative safe for me, and for how long? You might ask, which symptoms would mean I should be seen sooner? That last question matters because constipation is common, but certain warning signs should not be ignored. Blood in the stool, rectal bleeding, black stools, or a major change in stool color should be discussed promptly. Severe or constant abdominal pain, vomiting, fever, or inability to pass gas should not be brushed off. Unexplained weight loss, severe pain with bowel movements, a major change in bowel habits, or constipation that interferes with daily life should be brought to a healthcare professional. If stool becomes very narrow, or if the pattern changes in a way that concerns you, it is worth asking about. And if you have a family history of colon or rectal cancer, tell your doctor when discussing new bowel changes. The goal is not to make every bathroom change frightening. Fear does not help people think clearly, and it certainly does not help the body relax. The goal is to avoid two extremes, ignoring a new pattern because it's just age, or assuming the worst before you have talked with a professional. Constipation after 60 often has practical contributors. Low fiber may be one. Low fluid intake may be one. Low movement may be one. Holding the urge may be one. Medication or supplement effects may be one. A change in routine or appetite may be one. Sometimes several of these overlap. That is why the best first step is not a dramatic fix. It is careful observation. A safer daily approach may include gradually building more fiber-containing foods into meals if they are appropriate for you, staying hydrated within your personal medical limits, moving regularly in a way that is safe for your body, giving yourself unhurried time in the bathroom, and reviewing your medication and supplement list with a professional if the problem is new or persistent. Be careful with quick fixes. Laxatives and supplements may be useful for some people in some situations, but they are not automatically safe for everyone, and they are not all the same. Some products may interact with medicines or may not be appropriate for certain health conditions. If you find yourself needing laxatives repeatedly or using them longer than the label recommends, that is a reason to ask for guidance, rather than simply increasing the amount or adding another product. Also be cautious with online advice that promises a simple, natural solution. Constipation is too personal for one-size-fits-all answers. Someone with kidney disease, heart failure, swallowing problems, diabetes, medication interactions, or a history of bowel problems may need different guidance than someone else. What sounds harmless in a short video may not be harmless for every viewer. A more respectful approach is to ask better questions. When did this start? What changed around that time? What does the stool look and feel like? Are you straining? Are you eating less, drinking less, moving less? Did you start a new medicine, supplement, pain reliever, iron product, calcium product, or allergy medicine? Are there warning signs? Is the problem improving, staying the same, or getting worse? Those questions do not diagnose you. They help you become a better observer of your own body. There is also an independence angle here that often goes unspoken. Constipation can affect comfort, appetite, sleep, mood, and daily confidence. If someone feels bloated, uncomfortable, or worried about bowel movements, they may start avoiding travel, meals out, social plans, or even leaving the house for long periods. That is why it is worth addressing early and calmly, not because every case is serious, but because quality of life matters. A new bowel pattern after 60 is information. It may be a simple mismatch between diet, fluid, and movement. It may be related to a medicine or supplement. It may reflect a change in routine, appetite, sleep, or hydration. Or it may be something your doctor wants to evaluate more closely. The safest message is not worry. The safest message is pay attention, track the pattern, and ask for help when the change is new, persistent, worsening, or comes with warning signs. This video is for education only and should not replace medical care. If constipation is new, severe, worsening, lasting longer than usual, or comes with blood in the stool, black stools, vomiting, fever, constant abdominal pain, inability to pass gas, unexplained weight loss, severe pain with bowel movements, or a major change in bowel habits, talk with a qualified healthcare professional. Do not stop or change medications or supplements on your own. New constipation after 60 is not always just low fiber. Fiber may matter, but the pattern matters more. And when you understand the pattern, you can have a clearer conversation, make safer choices, and protect your comfort, confidence, and independence.